replace that tentpole from a product to the story world or the IP itself. And then you need to treat every single one of these different potential medias like sections in an orchestra that are all contributing to this symphony that, is the IP or the universe. If you do this, every single product becomes a potential acquisition channel.
In this way, Netflix is pretty traditional, like meaning that audience matters. Are people showing up? Are they loving the shows? The things that we can bring to that it's a little more difficult to measure in traditional media is things like what people watch in the first 24 hours. So that gives you a good signal that people actually join Netflix to watch that show.
Over the last couple of years, I think instead of having a production deficit, we had a production surplus. So there are still a lot of shows that, we probably didn't buy this year, or early this year or last year, not because we didn't think they were good, but because we only have 24 hours a day that we can schedule on an old-fashioned linear channel.
What we try to do is really to speak with the producer. We are aware of the market. We are not here to, try to create a revolution in the market. So we know exactly what things cost. And we also know that quality needs to be fulfilled with budget. So we try, to leverage our leadership principle, which is, frugality on one side, but on the other side is insist on the highest standard. And this is really our mantra.
And what's important on budget is that our intention is for the money to be seen on screen. So once you will watch the scripted originals from Italy, for France, you'll have a pretty fair idea that we are capable to invest. Consequently, if we do believe our customer will watch something really great.
I think that premium content is going to continue to lead the space, because when you're looking at 1,000 things, how do you choose? So I think that in the future, what we're going to see is a lot more transactions. We're going to see bigger transactions. I mean, free-to-air has a place to exist in this ecosystem, but it won't be the dominant place. It will be one of the viewing habits. And so we're going to start seeing the creation of what I think of as super brands. And super brands can be on-screen talent. The other area is going to be non-English speaking.
Yes, and a lot of focus will be on co-productions. I think we'll all be focusing on the partners that we trust, the partners that we've done work with before. I don't think you're going to see a lot of new partnerships being put together. I think everybody's going to focus on what they have on hand.
When I started my career in 1994, we only thought of making a show for domestic market. Now every day we get contacted by big European, the investors or UK producers. 2 decades ago, I could never have imagined this kind of population between the Japan and the European platforms. But in 2023, 43% of global SVOD subscribers are forecast to be in East Asian 3 countries: China, Japan, and South Korea. So I think without a doubt, we are at the beginning of the golden age of storytelling.
Virtually every market in the world will have, at the very minimum, 5 to 10 major streaming services competing for audiences at a mass market scale. Even today, we see most streaming services are relying more than ever on partnerships with telco operators and pay TV distributors to market their streaming services.
It's probably started with the international release of the big streamers, especially Netflix, where we started selling especially Spanish speaking content very heavily into the world. So this is when there was really a shift in the acceptance of non-English speaking content also in the US world. So no, I have to say it's an ongoing trend, not pushed by Corona, COVID, and I hope this will be a long-term trend because most of the things are working quite successfully. So we all believe in this being the new future.